Saying that the past year and a half has been tough on us all is an understatement. With everybody social distancing and housebound, our lives and livelihoods quickly had to adapt. And through this time, I think we all came to appreciate those moments of connection a little bit more than we would have done before 2020. Though we may not have had the luxuries of LAN parties and casual gaming nights, video games provided a pivotal source of social connection and escapism, of which made this pandemic just a little bit more tolerable. And so, we would like to go through a list of 6 such video games that we were grateful for during quarantine. While the world was only starting to deal with COVID-19 in March, the brunt of the first wave was already creeping in mainland China since December of 2019. In that same month, Nintendo finally had the go-ahead to officially release the Switch to Chinese consumers, after decades of battling China's restriction laws over importing video games and consoles alike. As quarantine was becoming the norm for citizens of China, and heavy restrictions being imposed on when and where folks could go outside, people sought alternative methods of exercise indoors. One such way was Nintendo's spiritual successor to the Wii Fit series, the turn-based role-playing fitness game, Ring Fit Adventure. Having been released in October of 2019, Ring Fit Adventure found a resurgence of interest in a few months after its debut, due in part to the global pandemic, and so saw a monumental rise in users in the Chinese demographic. The gamification of exercise isn't anything new. However, a narrative-driven, literal action-adventure game just so happened to be the perfect recipe of entertainment and physical fitness all in one. Upon the horizon of our impending doom stood the first wave of our new normal. That being what seemed like an eternity of Zoom calls, team meetings, and daily lockdown briefings. One source of light from our lockdown was the familiar homely comfort from our beloved classics, nestling by the hellfire that is Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing New Horizons. They share a space on this list because both titles happened to be released on the same day, and as such, once the collective consciousness of cyberspace became aware of this coincidence, fan art flourished and spread, leading towards a wonderfully wholesome crossover between the two franchises. Whether it's Doom Guy picking flowers on an idyllic desert island, or Isabelle succumbing to her animalistic primal bloodlust, having suppressed any grievances during your inept tenure as town mayor, it's a thing of beauty seeing two vastly different worlds collide in harmony. I, for one, am looking forward to the Cooking Mama Wolfenstein crossover at some point. Maybe not. Just like how crafting mechanics have seeped into almost every game thanks in part to Minecraft, I think most of us can agree that we may have wrung the Battle Royale genre dry. At this point, in my quarantine-spurred delusional paranoia, I'm starting to believe that we're all being conditioned to prepare for Hunger Games on a global scale. Where every other Battle Royale has found its core audience in either survivalist realism like in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, the Titanfall hero shooter of Apex Legends, or the aforementioned crafting that's abundant in Fortnite, Fall Guys takes heavy inspiration from obstacle course TV game shows that we know and love. And in doing so, they solve the problem that persists in many Battle Royale games. They manage to make losing fun.
Help me.
Due to the nature of these bumbling humanoid bean-shaped beings, trying to do anything meticulous and precise isn't going to work. Giving players of variant skill a more equal playing field, making it more accessible to a broader audience. Who would have guessed that video games, battle royales, and TV game shows would make such a good match? Hang on. Fall Guys has elements of Takeshi's Castle. Takeshi's Castle is named after the Count, being Takeshi Kitano, and Kitano stars in the cult classic classroom culling film Battle Royale and... oh no, I think I've said too much. We saw a lot of people take the opportunity to hone and develop new and old skills during lockdown. These moments of solitude offered a space to practice self-care, exercise, and to self-educate. I, for instance, learned how to play the tin whistle, while others took to the skies with Microsoft Flight Simulator. For some, it was a means to relive travelling in a tin can again. Perhaps a smidge of nostalgia for the series synonymous for the late 90s and early 2000s PC gaming scene. And as an excuse to fly by places of interest in local areas, only then just to crash into your childhood home. But it wasn't just for the casuals. As you might have guessed from the title alone, this game was also for flight sim enthusiasts. Primarily. The thing is, Microsoft Flight Simulator, along with others of its ilk, have been quite instrumental in gaining interest in either the hobby or profession of aviation. Airline companies are one of the heaviest hit industries this year, for evident reasons. On top of that, the industry has seen a stagnant or diminished amount of pilots who fly commercial jets. I wouldn't be surprised if flight simulators like this make a viable gateway into making flying a career then a hobby. So there could very well be future pilots who got their start in the industry through Microsoft Flight Simulator. Not me though. As one of the biggest success stories of the year, Among Us took over the latter half of 2020, spilling over into gaming and meme culture and onto the mainstream. Most notably, with US Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez streaming the game on Twitch with popular internet personalities. This social deduction game's meteoric success came in conjunction with the resurgence of Henry Stickmin, a series of browser-based flash titles from the days of yore, also known as 2008. With the release of the Henry Stickmin collection on Steam, people eventually found Among Us under the developer's repertoire, and proceeded to stream the game on YouTube Live and Twitch, to then explode in popularity. The ease of accessibility contributed significantly to Among Us' success, appealing to a wide age range and to those on mobile and PC platforms, as well as providing another means of connection with your fellow humans, even if that connection was with my knife to your back. Sorry. Those were just some of the biggest stories and games that prospered during the global pandemic thus far. What were your favourites from the past year that made the pandemic that little bit easier? Please feel free to share your gaming stories with us down in the comments section below. And while you're down there, give this video a little like and subscribe to more content just like this.